Blessings, beautiful beings. Thank you so much for joining me today for practice. Sam is deciding to join us, so he will be here as well. Today's practice is really nice and low to the ground. It's suitable for all levels. I do have a couple poses that you might want to grab some props for, depending on your body today, but you don't necessarily need them. Some blankets would be nice. Yes. Maybe blocks for one of the moves if you have them, but you don't need any of these props if you don't have them. Maybe a towel or a blanket or a pillow would probably be the most beneficial things to have, but again, you don't need any of them. This is really going to be a more practice, more for stretching and not so much pushing ourselves. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of a break to relax and restore. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to start out on a comfortable seat on our mats. So if you do have a blanket or a towel, you can bring that to sit on. If you don't, that's okay. You don't need it. And it can be just like a yoga blanket like this or a towel. It's really nice if you do have one just to come and sit on it. That's going to bring your hips up over your knees a little bit. So we're going to start in just a comfortable cross-legged position, whatever that looks like for you. Go ahead and loop your shoulders up, back and down. Keep your chest lifted, your back nice and straight. If it feels comfortable to you, you can close down the eyes. And then your palms can just be resting on your lap, either facing up or down, whatever feels right to you. And we're going to start just by focusing on our breathing. So we're going to really settle into the practice today and really take the time to relax. We'll still move our bodies a little bit, but the focus and the intention of today's practice is more just to relax and to rest and to stretch and to give our body that opportunity to do so. So as you breathe in, focus on what the air feels like as it enters through your nostrils. You can notice the temperature, maybe the smell, how it feels as it moves through your body down into your belly. And then as you exhale again, notice the temperature of the breath as it leaves. Notice the warmth. Feel your body just contract as that air exits through the belly, then the lungs, and out the nose or mouth. Nice big inhales. Long, slow exhales. Okay, we'll take one more big inhale together. Pause and hold just briefly at the top. And go ahead and slowly exhale. And when you're ready, you can slowly start to bat the eyes open and come back to the world around you. All right, we're gonna start to warm up our neck just a little bit. Sometimes the neck can get crunchy when you're texting or just doing other things. So we're going to imagine that we have like a little marker on the end of our nose. And we're gonna start to draw just little circles with that marker. So just little tiny circles. Gradually let those circles grow larger and larger until they're about the size of a dinner plate or so. Just gently warming up the neck. You don't have to throw your head all around. And then when you're ready, we're going to reverse that circle. So we're going to keep our circles nice and big, that big dinner plate. And then we're gradually just going to bring our circles back in towards the center. All right, and then when you're ready, go ahead and bring that to stillness. And let's go ahead, we're gonna warm up our thighs a little bit. I'm gonna extend out my left leg to start, just straight. You can keep a little bit of a bend in the knee if you would like to. And then I'm gonna bring my right heel in. Now you might have to adjust your seat a little bit, so I'm gonna turn my hips to face towards my extended left leg. And you can bend your knee if you would like, if that helps. But go ahead on an inhale, reach your arms up nice and tall towards the ceiling. And then exhale, go ahead and pretend there's a big beach ball in front of you. We're gonna reach over and grab onto our foot. If you can't reach your foot, you can just rest your hands on your thigh or maybe your shin, ankle, pant leg, wherever you can reach. Go ahead and do what's best in your body. Now, if it's a little much, you can bring a bolster or a blanket or a pillow, and you can bring that on your thigh, and then you can come over that as well. So do what feels right in your body today. Inhale, come up kind of like we're in a nice forward fold, so when we come up half flat back, or halfway with a flat back, not half flat back. And then on an exhale, go ahead and let it all go. You can try and bring your head to your knees. If your head doesn't reach your knee, that's okay. It is perfectly fine. So we're just stretching through the leg and through our back. Keep on breathing here, wherever you're at. Just slowing everything down. All right, let's take one more big inhale here. And then on the exhale, go ahead and walk it back up to center. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and extend my right leg out, just kind of straight. I'm gonna bring my left heel in. Again, go wherever it feels right to you. And I am gonna adjust my hips a little bit so they're more pointed towards my extended leg. Because otherwise trying to bend over like this is a little bit difficult because you're gonna wanna come forward. So make sure that you're positioned towards that extended leg. Inhale, reach the arms up nice and tall. Exhale, go ahead and come over that big beach ball to wherever your hands land. Inhale, go ahead and extend up. And then exhale, melt down and just breathe. You should be feeling a nice stretch in that hamstring. And then maybe even your back a little bit. We'll take one more big inhale here. And then on the exhale, go ahead and make your way back up to a seat. All right, so now we're going to transition to all fours. So you can leave your blanket here if you'd like. If you don't want that for your knees, you can remove it. I'm going to leave mine here for now. So we're just going to come to all fours, nice flat back tabletop position, and we're going to stretch through our spine a little bit. So if you've practiced with me before, you probably know where I'm going. If not, we'll walk you through it. So I'm going to bring my hands underneath my shoulders, knees underneath my hips. And on an inhale, we're going to drop our belly, our lower ribs, lift your head up, lift your tail up, coming into a cow pose. And then on the exhale, round through the spine, tuck the tail, tuck the head, cat. So again, as you inhale, we're going to drop those lower ribs while we lift our tail, lift our head, cat or cow pose. And then on the exhale, we're going to drop our head, drop our tail, round through the spine, cat. Go ahead and do a few more on your own inhales and exhales. If one feels better to you, go ahead and stay with it. So if this cat pose feels good, stay in it for a few breaths. Otherwise, just go ahead and move with your breath. And just flow at your own pace. All right, let's go ahead and do one more together. So inhale, we're going to come into our cow posture. Exhale, go ahead and round through the cat. And when you're ready, we're going to come back to neutral. Now I am going to go ahead and move my blanket off of my mat here. Now this next pose is where you might need some blocks. Again, you may not necessarily need them, but if you think that it's something that you might, you can go run and get them. I'm going to leave mine here just for demonstration purposes. All right, so go ahead and make sure you're on all fours again. Nice tabletop position. And when you're ready, extend through that right foot. So make sure you move forward a little bit, toes tucked onto the ground, and then just rock back and forth, kind of warming up through that calf muscle, feeling a little bit of a stretch. And when you're ready, bring that to stillness. Lift that right foot off the floor. Keep your toes pointed down. And then we're going to bend through the knee, bring it up towards our chest, and then step that right foot in between our hands. Now you might have to walk that left leg back. We're coming into a low lunge. So I had to walk my left leg back a little bit. Go ahead and make sure the top of your left foot is on the ground. Your right foot that's in front should be bent at a nice 90-degree angle. Make sure you can still see your big toe, so your knee should be pointing out towards your pinky toe. And then you can just stay really low. If blocks are part of your practice, you can bring those to your hands to bring the floor up to you. They can be on that high level or maybe this lower level. Or you can bring fingertips to the ground. Wherever you're at, just keep on breathing. Pull that right hip crease back. You're going to feel a nice stretch in your left hip flexor. Make sure your chest is nice and lifted. You don't want to round through the back. Take one more big inhale here. And then on the exhale, go ahead and slide that right foot back and we'll return back to our tabletop position. All right, so now we did our right side. Let's go ahead and do the same thing on our left side. So we're going to extend our left foot leg out to start. I kind of have to reposition myself on the mat. So if you have to too, that's okay. And then we're just going to rock forward and back, just feeling a nice stretch in our calf muscle. So just breathe here while you do this. Just warming up a little bit through our legs. We're not going to be doing a whole lot, but we do want them warm. All right, when you've had enough of that, go ahead and bring it to stillness. Then we'll lift our left leg up off the mat, toes dialed down still. And breathe. All right, and when you're ready, we'll bend through that left knee. We're going to place that foot in between our hands, maybe walk that right knee back, and then we're going to come into our low lunge on this side. So again, use blocks if you'd like to bring the floor up to you. Make sure that front knee is at a nice 90-degree angle. Chest nice and lifted, don't round through the back. And breathe. Pull that left hip crease back, and then you'll feel a nice stretch through your right hip flexor. Okay, we'll take one more big inhale here. And then exhale, let's take our left foot and come back once again to that tabletop position. So we'll take a breath here, just kind of see how you feel. All right, so we're going to warm up through our back a little bit. We're going to stretch through kind of our middle back. So wherever you're at, again, make sure you're in that nice tabletop position. We're going to take our right fingertips and kind of like you're drawing a bow and arrow, you're going to take your hand and just reach it up to the sky. On your exhale, go ahead and take that right arm and we're going to bring it underneath our left arm and then just come down to your right ear. You can bend your right or your left arm just for stability, or maybe you walk those fingertips out. So go where it feels right to you today. Wherever you're at, just breathe. Taking a nice twist in your back here. One more big inhale here. And then on the exhale, go ahead and return back to that tabletop position. So you might need to reposition your hands and that. All right, now we got to do the same thing on the left side. We don't want to be imbalanced. So when you're ready, we're going to take our left palm and just draw it up kind of, again, like a bow and arrow. And we're going to reach up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, we'll go ahead and take our left hand underneath our right arm and then turn onto our left ear and take a little rest here. And then just breathe. We'll take one more big inhale here. And on the exhale, we'll once again return to our tabletop position. All right, so hopefully that feels really good in your back. You should feel nice and loose. All right, we're gonna do one downward facing dog, just one. There's no planks, nothing like that, just one downward facing dog, just to stretch out our legs a little bit more. So if you are in a tabletop position, walk your hands just one handprint above where they were. Make sure to push or press the floor with your thumb, your pointer, and your middle finger. We're gonna go ahead and tuck our toes under, inhale. On an exhale, just lift the knees and hover for a moment. We're going to turn on our abs for a minute. Take another inhale here. And then on the exhale, straighten through the legs, shift your weight and your hips up, back, and down. And now you are in your downward facing dog. If you'd like, you can bend one knee and then the other, just walking your dog, pedaling it out. And when you're ready, go ahead and bring that to stillness. And just breathe. Take one more big inhale here. And then on the exhale, go ahead and return your knees back to the mat. All right. Go ahead and untuck your toes. Send your right leg out once again. And on your exhale, we'll bend through that knee again, and we're going to bring that knee in between our palms this time. So we're coming into a one-legged pigeon. Now you might need to walk that left leg back a little bit to bring that straight behind you. Now if your knee, so my leg is at a 90-degree angle right here. If your leg is not, if you're not to that point yet and it's not going to get into that angle, that is okay. Don't try and force your way into it. Just go, if it's here, that's okay. You can be there. So if you need blocks, you can use blocks to bring the floor up to you. You're getting a little bit of a back bend here. And then wherever you're at, from here, we're going to take a nice big inhale. And then wherever you're at, you can walk your hands forward and come down to your forearms. Maybe you want to rest your head on your forearms, or you can bring your head to the mat and extend your arms out. Whatever feels right in your body today, go ahead and do that. Maybe staying up feels best to you. And if it does, then you can certainly just stay up in this one-legged flying pigeon. So I will leave that up to you. Wherever you want to hang out in this pose is perfectly okay with me. Just make sure that it's not hurting you at all. I'm going to go ahead and rest my head for a moment, but I'll come back out here after a few breaths to guide you. This is a nice big hip opener, if you didn't already know, or if you couldn't tell. Okay, we'll take one more big inhale here. Exhale, wherever you're at, let's come back up to that upright position. And then we're going to make our way back to our tabletop position. So slide that right leg back. And then we'll pause here for just a moment. Breathe. See how both sides feel. It's kind of an intense one. All right, now we have to do the other side. So let's go ahead and extend our left leg straight out back behind us. And then on the exhale, we're going to bend the knee in and bring that knee in between our hands. Again, you might have to walk your right leg back a little bit. And my left side, I can't get my leg or my shin to that 90-degree angle on this side. It does kind of, my leg does tend to want to come in. So I'm going to honor that today and just stay where it is. Make any adjustments that you need to. We'll stay here for just a moment, just inhaling nice and tall and straight. And then when you're ready, you can walk your hands down and come to rest on your forearms, or you can stay wherever it feels good to you. Yogi's choice. Wherever you're at, we're going to take just a few moments to breathe. All right, let's take one more big inhale here. Exhale, go ahead and come up. And then wherever you're at, go ahead and we're going to kind of, I'm going to spin you around a little bit. Roll onto the outer side of your left hip. So you're going to come up off of that right leg a little bit. And then you can take your right knee in and kind of just swing it around. So then you're back in seated position. I'm actually going to move so my head doesn't hit my little step here. And we're going to go ahead and come onto our back. So all the really tough stuff is over. All right, so go ahead and lay flat on your back here. You're going to bring your knees as wide as the mat, or your feet as wide as the mat. So your outer edge of your feet should be to the mat. And then go ahead and let your knees fall in together. You can place your hands on your belly, or maybe a hand on the belly, then one on the heart, just whatever feels right to you, or you can bring your hands outright or out to your sides. We're just going to take a moment here to breathe. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Just taking this moment to rest. We have a few more poses we're going to do. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, maybe sigh it out. All right, so we're going to do some more twisting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my feet back hip distance apart again. So I'm going to walk them back in a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and extend my left leg out, and I'm going to bring my right knee into my chest just for a moment and breathe. Now from here, I'm going to use my left hand to guide that right knee over to the left side. Now you want to make sure that your right shoulder is still on the mat and you can reach that right hand out. Now maybe you take your left arm straight out, or you can leave that left hand just nicely, gently placed on that knee to kind of guide it over. But again, don't use that to force the stretch. So only go as far as it feels good in your body for today. And wherever you're at, just breathe. You can look at your right fingertips if you'd like while you're here. Okay, we'll take one more big inhale here. And then on the exhale, we'll go ahead and return back to center. Place both feet on the mat. Maybe reposition your hips if you need to. Stay here for just a moment. Compare both sides once again. Right, then when you're ready, we're going to go to the other side. So I'm going to extend out through my right heel. I'm going to bring my left knee in Just going to stay here for a moment and breathe. Just feeling a nice stretch in the legs and in the lower back. And when you're ready, I'm going to take my right hand and I'm just going to use that to guide my left knee over to the right side. Again, I'm going to extend my left arm out straight from the shoulder. Make sure your left shoulder blade is still on the mat. And then you can turn to look towards your left fingers if you'd like and just breathe. Take one more big inhale here. And then on the exhale, go ahead and return back to center. And bring both knees down, or both feet on the mat, knees pointed up towards the ceiling. All right. We're going to do a few more hip openers and really get into those hips because my hips tend to get tight. I know we store a lot of emotions in there, so we're going to focus on opening up our hips a little bit and getting some of that out. So if you don't have the flexibility to do this today, that's okay. I'm going to give some options. So we're going to go into a half happy baby. So if you know what happy baby is, you can go ahead and start to get into it. I'm going to show some modifications first before I get into the full pose. So go ahead and we're going to take our right leg once again, and you can, this is modification number 1. You can just hold on to the back of your right thigh and just keep it here and breathe. If you'd like a little more, you can bring that, keep that right knee bent in towards you, and you can bring that right foot up towards the ceiling. So the sole of your foot should be like you're pressing the ceiling with your foot. Now if you'd like a little more, maybe you grab your ankle or your pant leg, or if you're able to, you can grab the outside of that right leg and then just bend that knee a little bit more, coming into a half happy baby. You can keep the left leg on the mat just how it is, like bent, or you can extend it out. Up to you. So this is the full half happy baby. So we're just doing one foot at a time instead of both. Now you can bring some movement into it. You can bend, straighten through that knee. You can kind of play with it. And again, if you can't grab the outer edge of your foot like I am, that's okay. You can use a strap. You could grab just the ankle. You can grab a pant leg. And you don't have to bring it all the way over either. You can keep it a little bit more straight. So again, do what feels good in your body for today. Wherever you're at though, make sure you are breathing. I can't make modifications for you to not breathe in the pose. No modifications for that. Unless you have like a ventilator. And then you're probably not doing yoga if you're on a ventilator. Or maybe. Yoga is more than just the asana, so maybe. Maybe. Alright, when you've had enough of that, go ahead and gently place that foot back on the mat. Keep the knee bent. If you extend it out through your other leg, go ahead and bring that back in. Then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on our left side. So again, you can start out just by bringing that knee in and just holding on to the back of the thigh. Maybe you bend that knee and then bring the sole of your foot up to the ceiling. And then from here, maybe you grab your pant leg, your ankle, or the outer edge of that left foot, and then just kind of turn that out. Again, your right knee can be bent, or you can extend it straight out. And then wherever you're at, you can just breathe. You can make some movement by bending and straightening through that knee, just kind of opening up, or you can just stay still. Another big hip opener here. We'll take one more big inhale together. And then on the exhale, go ahead and return that foot to the mat. Bring your other foot up to the mat if it was extended, and then we'll just stay here for a breath. All right, one more big hip opener. Go ahead and walk your feet together, really together. And then we're going to butterfly the knees out and bring the soles of the feet together. Now, if your knees don't come all the way to the ground, this is another place where you can use blocks if you have them, or blankets or towels, and you can place them underneath your knees to bring the ground up to you. So again, listen to your body. Wherever you're at, breathe. Again, your hands can be on the belly, or maybe one on the belly and one on the heart, or you can have your hands out. Wherever you're at, just breathe deeply and fully. All right, we'll take one more big inhale here. And then on the exhale, go ahead and slide one leg out. And then the other. Make sure your feet are as wide as the mat. Again, you can keep your hands on your body or they can be off your body, palms facing up and down. Make sure your shoulder blades are nice and snuggled underneath your heart space. And then we're going to move into our final resting posture, the corpse pose, Shavasana. So if it feels good in your body, you can close down the eyes. If you need to cover up, if it's a little chilly, grab a blanket. You can also put a bolster or a pillow underneath your thighs. And wherever you're at, just breathe. Let go. Let the nutrients of your practice just marinate in your body. I am going to go quiet for just a little bit while you relax, but I will be back shortly to guide you out of the posture if you need to go on with the rest of your day. So the card I pulled for practice today is Dear Spirit, and its message is bring a gentle touch. It says, Dear Spirit is bringing you a gentle warning that now is not the time to engage in an argument, no matter how volatile others are being. Do not match their intensity with your own. If you're dealing with an overly assertive person, step back and disengage, lest you agree to something out of alignment with your intentions. Don't let anyone bully you into anything you're uncomfortable with. You have solid footing if you stand your ground with grace. Those who disagree will begin to find their own gentleness and willingness to compromise. Dear Spirit also brings a message that it might be easy to offend someone today, or take offense because someone lacks diplomacy. Let all of that pass. You are not meant to take this world personally. While it's a beautiful gift to be sensitive, today you need a tougher hide so that any compromises you make allow you to maintain your integrity. It seems like a really specific message maybe for somebody that's practicing, so hopefully that helps to know that it's not personal. Just breathe. All right, so if you would like to stay in Shavasana, stay for as long as time allows. Otherwise, if you need to get going, start to slowly deepen your breath. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes, just bringing feeling and life back into them. When you're ready, go ahead and place your feet on the mat. And then gently go ahead and roll to your favorite side, coming into a fetal position. And then just stay there for a breath or two. When you're ready, gently come up into a seated position, bringing your head and neck up last. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes back to the world around you. So thank you so much again for joining me for practice today. I really appreciate your time and your energy and you sharing your practice with me. If I'm releasing this right now just on my Patreon account, so if you are seeing this, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate your support. Be sure to like and comment on the video. I also have my YouTube channel where all the free videos are posted, so if you'd like to subscribe, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. And then also, if you know anyone that you think this practice would benefit, please share this with them. That helps to get my videos out to others that might need them as well. Couple housekeeping things before we end. I will not be creating a video the next week for sure, possibly two. I'm going to be out of town, so I won't have all of my stuff there to do that. Not that you necessarily need stuff, but I won't have my mat and I won't have the dedicated space or possibly time. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break. That's kind of what this whole practice was about, is taking a step back and hitting the pause button. I'm going through a lot of different changes here, so those are exciting, but I still need time myself to integrate them into my own life. So go ahead and do the same. Otherwise, I have the videos on my Patreon account and then also all of the free ones on YouTube. So I will see you guys in a couple weeks. It'll be the free May practice that I put out next. So I look forward to seeing you then. I hope you have a great rest of April. Be safe, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.